6 animals that could outsmart a predator. Predators are not just big and powerful with sharp claws and teeth, they are also smart, otherwise they'd all starve. But sometimes the animals that they prey on can be even smarter than them. Intelligence may not matter in many scenarios, because if a hungry cheetah is chasing you and is faster than you, then you are lunch. Might as well lay down next to a side of fries. But there are plenty of animals that are so smart that they actually outsmart their predators on a fairly regular basis. And the ways that they do it are truly unique. So unique that these predators don't even know what hit them before it's too late and they miss the lunch deal. Meerkats. Meerkats are quite recognizable for their unique and objectively cute appearance. And the cute thing people usually think of when they picture a meerkat is that thing they do when they stand up and look around innocently. But it's not at all an innocent, cute pose. The meerkat isn't trying to look adorable, he's doing something important. Meerkats live in deserts in southern Africa, in places like Botswana, Namibia, and Angola. They're only about 10 to 14 inches long and weigh about 2 pounds. They're tiny animals that have to worry about larger predators like snakes, eagles, and jackals. These predators are not only large, but in most accounts are faster. They're skilled hunters determined to get a meal in the rough deserts of Africa, using excellent senses of smell, hearing, and vision to zero in on a delicious meerkat. But when meerkats are in their groups, many of them will be foraging for food for the entire group. But they always deploy a lookout. That's what the meerkat is doing. He's keeping watch for predators. Sometimes there is more than one lookout at a time, but the meerkats are smart enough to know that a lookout can get tired and lose focus if they're left in the same position too long. So they regularly rotate jobs and swap out the lookout with a fresh set of eyes. They work together as a team so excellently. If the lookout meerkat sees a predator, they let out a specialized alerting noise that lets everyone know to drop what they're doing and dive underground and hide. Meerkats live by the principles of teamwork. Teamwork keeps them alive. Crows. The next intelligent animals we'll examine are crows, and they use a bit of teamwork as well. But when it comes to pure intelligence, the crow is who we should really be thinking of. The crow isn't just one of the smartest birds in the world, it's one of the smartest animals in the world. They put that on display in a number of ways. Scientists have witnessed crows learning water displacement in order to get food out of a beaker, proving that they aren't just smart animals that already know a lot, they can constantly learn more. Crows have been seen using tools to get to food, sometimes even using oncoming traffic to drive over and break open a canister that has food inside that they wish to eat. Yes, using tools. That won't be the only time they use tools. Crows can be found in so many places, from the Americas to Europe to Asia. They live in grasslands, forests, deserts, mountains, and even in residential and semi-residential areas. Because of that, they can have a variety of predators. They may have to worry about cats, raccoons, eagles, and foxes. A variety of predators with a variety of attack styles means you have to be a quick thinker. Luckily, the crow is exactly that. Crows know they need to watch the skies above and the ground below. And even if they are in the branches of the trees, someone else may join them in the trees. Someone who is hungry for blackbird pie. Crows have a sophisticated language amongst themselves, possessing more than 20 different vocalizations with different meanings. They could have vocalizations that represent different kinds of warnings, like what kind of predator was around and where it was. And crows have also been known to use their tools in these situations. They'll use tools to create safe spaces for themselves, perhaps a little hideout. And they also know not to throw their tools away. They keep them, they hide them, so that they can use their tool again, maybe even to distract a predator. Crows have been seen using their tools, whether they be sticks or something else, to distract a predator as they get their hidden food sources. The predator is distracted and wondering what is going on with all the extra movement, and the crow is only doing this in order to get his food with ease. The crow is like a chess player, always thinking multiple steps ahead, something many other animals cannot do. But there is another animal that isn't necessarily viewed as smart, but he's smart enough to know this: pigeons. Yes, pigeons have not often been described as highly intelligent animals. Then again, they don't get as much credit as they do. Carrier pigeons used to be used to deliver things, and all pigeons have an excellent sense of where things are, where food sources are, and can remember so many of these locations, keeping them inside their heads like a map. Because many pigeons live near humans, they will determine the humans who put out food that they can eat and get an idea when they do, and they will regularly show up on time for food. A problem for pigeons is that other animals catch on to this, and those other animals view the pigeons as food. One such animal that preys on pigeons are hawks. Hawks aren't so much bigger than pigeons, but they're big enough and strong enough to swoop down, give them chase, and sink their talons into them, dragging them off somewhere to kill and eat. Pigeons obviously don't want this, but they can't do anything to fight back against the stronger hawk. When they see a hawk incoming, they all fly off and hope the hawk doesn't pick them off. Sometimes they get away, sometimes they don't. So some pigeons have come up with a more foolproof plan. The foolproof plan is called, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend." Hawks and crows dislike each other very much. Some hawks will prey on crows if they are big enough, but that seldom happens because crows can get large and are usually in large groups anyway. This scares hawks. Crows hate hawks and are very territorial. And some pigeons, well, they know all of this. So there are pigeons that have decided to inhabit the same areas as crows. They find their food sources in the areas that crows live. Luckily, the pigeons and crows don't eat a lot of the same food, so there's no fighting over meals, and pigeons and crows get along just fine. There's no hatred there. So now you have pigeons hanging out on the crows' turf that hawks are scared to come by. And even if the hawks do come by, looking to pick off some pigeons, the crows will not have it. They will circle the hawk from above, taking turns dive bombing at it until it flees. It's an excellent strategy by the pigeon. If there is a bully picking on you, go find a bigger bully that hates your bully and hang out with him. You'll be safe, even if indirectly. African wild dogs. African wild dogs find themselves in an interesting scenario. Being only about 50 pounds, they are predators of Africa. But what with leopards and hyenas and lions far outweighing them, they sometimes play the part of prey. A lion may enter their area, and if they haven't eaten in a while, a pack of African wild dogs presents plenty of tasty enough options. But African wild dogs have two interesting facets about their lifestyle. One, they have packs that usually consist of 10 or more members, and could be up to 40. And they have a complex language they use to communicate, consisting of many calls meaning many things, including the fact that they even vote whether to go on a hunt or not. A very important vocalization they have is the one they use when they see that lion closing in: scatter. African wild dogs won't just flee at the sight of the predator. They purposely all flee in different directions, causing massive confusion to the predator and seizing them into a state of uncertainty of which direction to go, until it's too late and there are no targets to go after. Amazonian antbirds. The Amazonian antbird is a pretty small guy, rarely getting to be over 6 inches in length, so he has a lot of predators. Because of this, he's come up with a couple of different tactics to stay as uneaten as possible. They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but in the Amazon, imitation is the best form of survival. The Amazonian antbird has figured out how to mimic the call of ant shrikes, which are aggressive and territorial birds. The Amazonian antbird itself isn't going to hurt anybody, but when predators come around and they hear the ant shrike, they think twice, because that bird could cause some damage. It's a genius idea, mimicking a more dangerous bird to keep predators at bay. But when that doesn't work, they have another trick. Antbirds, again, are not too large. This is why they mix their flocks with other larger birds, especially ones with excellent predator detection skills. Now, the flock of antbirds may be large, but a large number of smaller birds doesn't scare too many. However, they mix their flocks with one or a few of these larger birds in the area, and then whichever bird they've welcomed into their flock, they learn to mimic that bird too. That way, as the group stays together in a true safety in numbers scenario, the larger bird watches out for predators. When he spots one, he gives out his call, and all the antbirds mimic the call, giving the illusion that there is a small army of this larger type of bird, once again scaring the predator away. The predator is unaware. He may have only been dealing with one large bird and a dozen or so much smaller ones. The Amazonian antbird is one of the masters of mimicking, but this next animal, he's a master of things we've only read in fiction books. Cuttlefish. The cuttlefish deploys a couple of highly intelligent moves, and he sounds like a character in your favorite fantasy movie. One of his moves puts him on wizard level. The other move, it's ninja status. The poor cuttlefish. He can be as small as 6 inches long and as large as 20 inches long. That's not very big. And another problem, he must be oh so tasty. He has so many different predators. There are several kinds of sharks that want to eat cuttlefish, plenty of large fish, even dolphins, seals, and some seabirds go after them. No matter which way they turn, a predator may be there. They've had to be intelligent and figure out some very unique and effective methods to survive. When a predator approaches a cuttlefish and threatens to attack, the cuttlefish can change the patterns on its skin. This isn't just to look nice before his funeral. He can change the patterns to become mesmerizing and hypnotic. They're so hypnotic that they catch the predator off guard and disorient them, oftentimes stopping them in their tracks. Yes, just like a wizard, the cuttlefish changes his appearance in the blink of an eye, like a magic spell, putting the enemy in a temporary trance. But all that is good for nothing if he can't also escape. He isn't necessarily the fastest swimmer in the ocean, so he also uses his ninja status to escape, shooting out a giant blast of ink while propelling himself away. The cloud of ink suspended in the water is another distraction tactic, one that covers his escape route. The cuttlefish is like a ninja with a smoke bomb, throwing it down for distraction and escaping unseen. It's the combination of the two that have created many a survivor from winding up as the stock base in a bowl of cuttlefish soup. Many animals know that you don't have to be stronger or faster than your predator. You just have to be smarter, and uniquely smart at that.